I'm going to recognize my anger. Remember, anger is limbic. It's sometimes irrational, but recognition is prefrontal. The prefrontal cortex, the ability to think things through, solve problems, execute a plan, anticipate what will happen next. So as soon as you recognize you're anxious, you are shifting your brain from the limbic system to the prefrontal cortex. This is part of the way our brains are designed. This is the neurology of our brain. It's the coolest thing. And what I'm saying is if you're doing it, everyone's doing it. So think about this. If anger is an emotion designed to change things, it's not always your anger that gets in the way of your success. Very often it's somebody else's anger that gets in the way of your success. So the next 4 steps that we're going to go through is how to manage somebody else's anger. And Mark, the first thing you're talking about is project peace. I mean, that's what you're talking about. Instead of being angry and irritated, which is only going to activate anger or fear in someone else, what happens when you're peaceful? When you're projecting peace, you're using another part of your brain, something called mirror neurons. You go into a movie and you see someone sad in the movie, you feel sad. They're up on a screen. They're a movie. But you experience the emotion because what they have done is activate the neurons in your brain, the brain cells that mirror other people's emotions. How many times when you get angry, does somebody else get angry? Because you've activated their mirror neurons. But what happens when you use this step of projecting peace? You've got somebody who's angry with you. Remember, they're trying to change things. They're envious of you or suspicious of you. Something's going on that they're angry with you. But you project peace and you now influence their mirror neurons. Remember, you control no one, you influence everyone, part of the I am. Small changes can have big effects, part of the I am. You project peace. Think about people who are peaceful for a moment. What's it like being around someone who's just sort of calm, you know, in the face of fear or anger or some sort of stress, and they're calm? Don't you want someone like that in your workplace? Don't you want someone like that right in your tribe, in your group, so that when faced with some confrontation, they can be the person who begins the negotiation, that mediation? You project peace. You begin calming down somebody else's brain. Have you ever done that? Ever been in a situation where that's happened to you, where you've been able to project peace? I can tell you a story about what happened to me. Is look out my window one day, and there's a guy in my front yard putting up a sign for a yard sale. And he's putting up a sign on my yard for a yard sale several houses down. Now, I could have gone out and said, "Get that sign out of here. What are you doing? Why are you putting up? It's my property, not your property. Why putting a sign up?" But I went out and I said, "Hey, yard sale, what's going on?" He thought I was going to come out and tell him he couldn't put the sign up. And the first thing he said was, "I can put the sign here because there's a fire hydrant down here. That's a public property." I said, I'm not telling you can't put the sign there, but just curious. Yard sale? What's going on? This man then began to tell me, because I'd projected peace, that it was a yard sale that actually he didn't really want to have. It was a yard sale of his wife's belongings, who had died 3 or 4 years before on their anniversary day.
Um,
It was their anniversary. He was downstairs making breakfast. He goes upstairs to give her breakfast in bed, and she was gone. And there were all these things of hers, things that she'd never opened, dresses and shoes she'd never worn. If I had gone out there angry, envious, that this guy was doing something suspicious, that he was on my property, I would never have learned that story. I would never have known what this man was going through and how difficult it was for him. Because, you think of a yard sale, you think of people just getting rid of their junk. That's not what was happening with this man. When you project peace, you have an opportunity to help some other brain be peaceful. If you've got two angry brains, you have two limbic brains, two irrational brains, two impulsive brains. You know that usually doesn't work out very well, because you keep prodding each other, stimulating each other, going deeper and deeper into these primitive emotional places that we all have, but that we don't need to rule us anymore. So you project peace.
Stretch the canvas, rush with madness.